Ayapa Esther George, Orekele wa tiwa. Mr. Ọ̀tún Àràbí ńkọ́, ṣáma jókòjókòjó. TKM Connection, mo ń gbádùn ẹ jù. Báyọ̀ Adéyàgá, MD and CEO, Noble People's International. I dey hello, it's Wale. Noble People's International.
Ó ti rẹ̀ mí jù. Yé mo gbé yé àyàlà ni mò ń là ó máa yé ta ló pè mo gbé hello kò sí volume kẹ̀ kò sí volume network kò sí ó ti wá òkè báyìí sí àṣàlà ni mò ń là ìwọ lọ́hùn Lord, let my dream come true, please, Lord. Olúwa ṣàánú fún mi, help me, Lord.
Ayato, Noble People's International Magazine, unveiling Noble TV and Noble Radio worldwide.
Èrò ẹ wá wo tí bàbá ṣe láyé ọmọ rẹ̀. Noble People's International láyé òbí bàbá wọn. Ìròyà ẹ wá wo tí bàbá ṣe láyé ọmọ rẹ̀. Noble People's International, I dey hello, sing it. Noble People's International láyé òbí bàbá. Noble Radio, Noble TV, I dey hello, Noble People's International. Now you be Baba, Noble Radio, Noble TV, I dey hello. When I think of the past, now you be Baba. When I think of the present, you dey gidiga. When I think of the future, you say you are my solid rock. Now you be Papa, make you jolly, Noble family. By your Adéyàgá, make you jolly. Noble People's International, now you be Baba. Noble Radio, Noble TV, I dey hello. Congratulations to you, MC Ike Diamond, Noble Police and MC Cole, I dey hello. Yetunde Majek Okeshola ńkọ́, ṣáma gbádùn ní tiẹ̀. Ayapa Esther George, Orekele wa tiwa. Mr. Ọ̀tún Àràbí ńkọ́, ṣáma jókòjókòjó. TKM Connection, mo ń gbádùn ẹ jù. Báyọ̀ Adéyàgá, MD and CEO, Noble People's International. I dey hello, it's Wale. Noble People's International.
Ó ti rẹ̀ mí jù. Yé mo gbé yé àyàlà ni mò ń là ó máa yé ta ló pè mo gbé hello kò sí volume kẹ̀ kò sí volume network kò sí ó ti wá òkè báyìí sí àṣàlà ni mò ń là ìwọ lọ́hùn Lord, let my dream come true, please, Lord. Olúwa ṣàánú fún mi, help me, Lord.
Ayato, Noble People's International Magazine, unveiling Noble TV and Noble Radio worldwide.
Èrò ẹ wá wo tí bàbá ṣe láyé ọmọ rẹ̀. Noble People's International, láyé òbí bàbá wọn. Ìròyà ẹ wá wo tí bàbá ṣe láyé ọmọ rẹ̀. Noble People's International, I dey hello, sing it. Noble People's International, láyé òbí bàbá. Noble Radio, Noble TV, I dey hello.
Hello, Noble.
Hello.
Jọ ọ̀rẹ́ mi kan sọ̀kan fún mi sìn acoustic special wọ́n ní woolwich lọ́wọ́ asustic ni o ẹ má lọ sí asustic ni mo rán ẹ.
Okay. Woolwich gan lèmi gan wà báyìí gan sìn. Woolwich Adé Woolwich now. Yes. Okay.
Ìjọba mi gẹ̀ẹ́sì àsun kọfí atasi kọfí àlùbọ́sà wọ́n kọfí everything sí ní owó ìgbà tọ́rọ mi ràn yẹn bó ṣe pọ́nú lábí bó ṣe wà láti tí taste asun stick nítorí Ọlọ́run. Please help me to get it asun stick in Woolwich. Abeg make you get me asun. I'm dying for that asun. In fact, my mouth is watery already. Asun sticky, please abeg. Yes, pepper, onions, everything. Make you buy plenty o. Thank you, darling. Oshe, all right, bye.
Mo ti gbọ́, ma beg get. Okay, ma beg get. Love you. See you soon. Noble police. Ó like oúnjẹ. Oúnjẹ ìṣáná ni. Oúnjẹ ìṣáná. Oh, Asun steak special. Normal, his name Mr. Noble.
Hello, Noble. Asun stick lẹ́ ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn. Asun tó mú tájù. Àtún gbogbo Woolwich pátápátá ojú òní tí.
Ẹ bá mi ṣe plate asun méjì. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tápọ̀ ńbẹ̀ àti àlùbọ́sà. Plenty pepper and plenty onions.
Ẹ ó dáa kò sí wàhálà. Plate asun méjì. Kó láta dáadáa kó mú ta. Ẹ rẹ̀ fẹ́ onion rẹ̀ lórí àlùbọ́sà òkè.
Ẹ ṣe gan ni.
Kò sí wàhálà. Ó ti ready. Kíákíá báyìí torí yín máa sáré ṣe pápápá. Bless you, Baba. Chief Noble mo kí ẹ ire o.
Ẹ ṣe gan ẹ gbà yìí ó péye gan ni. Sọ́kò sílẹ̀ ó ń japa. Ẹ ṣe bàbá. Tata yẹn rè. Tata àti onion rè. Ní ká sún lè gbẹ ní.
Ó máa láìkí oúnjẹ.
Irọ́ ni o. Tó bá jẹ ní ìkọlẹ̀.
Ó jẹ ní.
Noble police.
Ó jẹ ní.
Ẹ ṣe gan ni.
Jẹ́ ṣáà jẹ́ kí n máa jẹ àsun yìí lọ. Ẹran jẹ́ máa gbọ́n ibi ata fóun nìkan kóun máa jẹ ibi ata kí n máa jẹ àsun. Páàkì méjì tó lọ ra yìí tó bá ti ra bíi mẹ́rin wá lọ ra méjì ṣáàjà táwọ̀ bíà fẹ́ bá mi jẹ nínú tó yẹ kó fílẹ̀ kí n máa dájẹ́ nǹkan mi ibi aláta yẹn náà ni kí n máa fún ẹ̀ ń jẹ yé tèmi jàre ṣáàjẹ́ máa jẹ lọ àlùbọ́sà tàtà ló máa jẹ léni máa ṣú ẹ̀ ń pẹ́pẹ́ àsun yìí dùn ọ̀tá ojú ẹ̀ next time kó ra bíi mẹ́rin wá wá ra méjì wá.
Ayé mà níkà o, ayé tún dúró pẹ̀lú. Èmi odidi Mr. Noble ni wọ́n fún ní.
Hello, Noble.
Hello.
Jọ ọ̀rẹ́ mi kan sọ̀kan fún mi sìn Asun stick special. Wọ́n ní Woolwich lọ́wọ́ Asun stick ni o ẹ má lọ sí Asun stick ni mo rán ẹ.
Okay. Woolwich gan lèmi gan wà báyìí gan sìn. Woolwich Adé Woolwich now. Yes. Okay.
Ìjọba mi gẹ̀ẹ́sì àsun kọfí atasi kọfí àlùbọ́sà wọ́n kọfí everything sí ní owó ìgbà tọ́rọ mi ràn yẹn bó ṣe pọ́nú lábí bó ṣe wà láti tí taste asun stick nítorí Ọlọ́run. Please help me to get it asun stick in Woolwich. Abeg make you get me asun. I'm dying for that asun. In fact, my mouth is watery.
Home. My name is Yetunde Oluyinka Okeshala, and you're welcome to our program, your program, Women of Valor. Last week we were on here, but it wasn't an interactive session as such, but today is the first interactive session we're going to have this year, so I'm going to take the opportunity, even though it is far back in the month, in the year, to wish all our viewers a very happy new year. And I pray that all your good dreams this year come true. And I also pray that every good thing that you're looking unto the Lord for, the Lord will answer you this year in Jesus' name. Thank you for all your support for Noble People Television, and most especially for this program, Women of Valor. As I explained last year, this program is not just for any religious background, it's not just for any particular social cultural group. It is for all women. As long as you can identify yourself as a lady, a woman to be as well, this program is for you. And also, we thank all our men that watch this program as well, because they can use all the knowledge that we share on this program to educate their daughters, their sisters, and use some of those words to advise and educate women and ladies around them, because you will find yourself in a position at some point in time that you probably have to settle some discord between couples or in a home, be it your friends or family. And this program will be very, very useful for you, because you can always reflect back on things that has been said on this program and use that to educate and encourage people. And also it will help you to sort of kind of support your wife or your partner or your fiancé or your girlfriend, some of the knowledge to say, why don't you, go and watch this program. You can refer them to Women of Valor program on Noble People Television. This program is all about how a woman should behave, what is expected of a woman in their matrimonial home, in their responsibility as a mother, and also, to the in-laws, and in general, how to be a woman, a role model, a good woman indeed. Because it's not every woman that is a woman of valor, but we wanted to encourage us as much as possible. We believe every woman can do it, because it is not just something that is undoable, or that is out of the contrary that we're discussing on this program. It's something to encourage us to be our better self and how to have a happy home in general. Today, I will be talking about decency and or being a decent woman. With all due respect, I'm not saying that if you're watching me, I'm not saying you're not decent or that I'm most decent, but in general, I'm sure you will all agree with me that you might as well come across, some women in the society or a lady in the society, or you have been actually been involved with a woman that you think, oh no, that's not ladylike, that's not woman-like, So this is what we want to talk about today. And on the program today, I would like to visit certain topics under decency, or how to be a decent woman of valor. The first topic I'll talk about is with our dressing. A woman of valor should dress, how a woman of valor should dress, and what exactly do I mean by, dressing under decency. We all know, if I could first of all describe or explain what decency means. This means behavior that is good and morally acceptable in the society. Behavior that is good and morally acceptable in the society, in the community. And I'm sure you will agree with me that sometimes a lady can dress in a way that is not good, not just good, but that is not morally acceptable in the society. Most especially these days, it's not just in the community that you come across people dressing indecently. Even in place of worship, you will see that people attend, services, churches, and other place of religious worship that, with clothes that are not appropriate. What needs to be at the back of every woman of valor when it comes to dressing is modesty. Modesty, that is dressing appropriately in a moderate way. Modesty actually reflects who a woman is. Your appearance reflects who, by just looking at your appearance, the way you dress, people can easily, judge you and kind of know which group or which class of a woman, or which class of women you belong to. Modesty is something that starts within someone, because we realize that we portray ourselves the way we feel at heart and the way we feel in our mind, which truly is reflecting, who am I? What do I stand for? Why do I exist? If you see yourself as existing to be a whore or to be a prostitute, of course, then your appearance in dressing will present you as such. If you see yourself as a working class or a professional person, then you will see that the way you will dress and portray yourself will reflect that this person is actually a decent person. So modesty, sometimes people think it meant dressing unattractively. Modesty does not necessarily mean dressing in an unattractive clothing. You can still dress to be sexy, to look beautiful, without being indecent. Most of the way that women dressed that is classified as being indecent is when you wear clothes that all your cleavages are showing. I know when we go to parties or when we have occasions, we tend to have, some clothes that has to be, sexy and, very attractive, in a way to put it. But that doesn't mean you should show too much of your, cleavage, to the extent that some you will see that their clothing is covering just the bits and the rest is all showing. Some post such, pictures and video recordings on the social media. To be honest, what that implies really is up to them. This is why I said it is from your inside, it's from your mind. Okay, I could say, I want to go on the social media today, and I want everybody to see 3/4 of my boobs, and I want people to see 3/4 of my, of my underwear and this and that. That is, that in a way should actually make us as a woman to think, what am I advertising here? Am I selling something? Is this decent? Because, if at all that is the way you dress, you like to dress that way. If you dress like that in your own home and, excite yourself and be happy, looking at yourself in the mirror, but it is not the whole world that we want to see. And I don't know what your husband or your partner will feel about you exposing, presenting yourself in such a way in the public. Modesty, as well, I would say, attracts the kind of guys you ought to want to attract. Because let's say, for example, you go to the club that, that present ladies, some just half nude and all that. Definitely the kind of guy that will go there, you will not see someone that is very decent of a class that will want to say, okay, I'm looking for a fiancé or I want to get married, and then they will go to such places to go and find one. Of course not, they will not. So the way you dress, and you don't have to be in that particular gathering or that particular house to present yourself as an indecent lady, even if you don't go to the nude house or, if you go to all those, joints that, you can actually see people that are lap dancing and all that. It is not, if you're not in that environment and you still decide to dress in the way that they dress and now publicize it, on the social media or in your picture, or even, dressing in such a way to place of worship, that is something that I will want us as women to look at. It is not just decent, it is unattractive. And we should try and be decent in our outgoings. There are various ways by which you can look very attractive. There are various ways that you can sew your clothes or wear the clothes that will really shape up and present you as a very beautiful woman. Another thing I would like us to know is, when you dress and present in the public in such an indecent way, it takes away the attention from your real beauty, from the real person, from the real you. Because what everyone that see you is going to look at first is just that part that you expose. So all attention is now being diverted into this exposed part of your body, rather than seeing a decent, beautiful woman coming or lady and appreciating them for the beauty that they portray. So it's kind of mask you as a person. Also, being decent in dressing sets a good example for others. Let's say you have young ones around your home, you have teenagers. If a mother is dressing in such a way, like I explained or described earlier, you can only expect that the children will do worse, because mommy dressed this way or auntie dressed this way. Don't forget, this is not just all about mothers, and you could have people that are living with you that look up to you as a role model. And if the way you present yourself is in such an indecent way, they will think that is the right way of doing things. So you don't want to be the one that lead people astray. Also, women are worthy of respect. You will say that when you are in a gathering and a lady walks in without putting on appropriate clothing, maybe the dress is too short, like midway tie or something like that, you will not look at those women with respect, or you will not look at that woman with respect. You're actually going to see them like, oh, and then, and other women around the environment can feel so uncomfortable. I remember I was in a congregation one day, and there was a program that I was attending, and there was this lady that was actually sitting at the lamplight of the assembly, and the clothing that she was wearing, goodness, I felt so embarrassed. I actually felt like it was me that was dressed in this way. At some point, I had to encourage and calm myself down to say, hang on a minute, you're not the one that is dressed this way. It is not you that is dressed in this way. So calm down, just, And I felt like calling this lady, to say, sister, this is a little bit too short, something like that. But that is how we can put people around us to be so uncomfortable, even when we dress. And I tell you, the environment in that congregation that day was kind of like cool. Everybody was kind of like down and embarrassed and not very, reactive, all because everybody was just feeling embarrassed for her. Unfortunately, she wasn't feeling, that embarrassed. So not to make people around us to be uncomfortable, it is good to be decent when we present ourselves in the public. Also, dressing decently, it helps our brothers to avoid lust, because you can only imagine when you dress in such a way that you have brothers around and you have men around, you're leading them on in a wrong way, and some men can only but just look at you and they have adverse reaction within them. It's nature. It's not because they want to lust at you, but you are leading them on in a wrong way. Don't get me wrong. There is nothing stopping us from dressing attractively and sexy. I'm not against that at all. But what needs to be covered for respectful purposes, please let us have them covered, so that our true beauty can show, and also we can avoid, because majority of rape cases that is in town, especially in the summertime, goodness, it's more worse during the summertime than the winter period because of the cold, obviously, in this part of the world. But even in the rest of the world, African countries, you can see everybody, it's just a thing of the century that ladies feel they have to dress halfway naked before they can look attractive and decent. But I tell you, you can only attract certain men that is for that purpose only. And even if you're lucky to find a man that find you attractive in that way, if they eventually get to know you better or dating you in a proper, committed relationship, you will see that they will ask you to stop dressing that way, because what they see that you attracted to them. They don't want other people. They don't want you to be a public, a public girl that anybody can just see. Like, you want to feed your eye, just go, when you meet her, don't worry, you can satisfy yourself, you can satisfy your lust. So please let us be decent. Another observation that I make in all our advertisement that I've been watching over the televisions is that you will see that men, when they are, most especially the musical videos, you will see that men will dress, they will have their vest, they will have their top, some will even have their blazer or a cap on and everything, and they will be dancing and singing their song, and there you will see the ladies coming with ordinary pants and bras and be presenting themselves like an object or something. Even though some of this music, they are decent songs, they're like inspirational songs that could really educate and help people, and some of them are even prayerful songs. You will not be surprised, but then the video for this music will be something that you cannot really write home about. So all I'm saying in essence here regarding dressing about as regards to a woman of valor is not to present yourself too cheap. Don't present yourself. Don't sell your body. You don't need to sell what is underneath the clothes. What needs to be underneath the clothes needs to stay underneath the clothes. Dress attractively. When you go to the shops, you will find the right size for you. And having said all of this with regards to dressing, I'm not going to not mention something that we call wardrobe malfunctioning. And this is a situation, this is a term that is being used. This is a situation when a lady finished dressing in her house and looked at herself in the mirror and said, oh, I look good. But then when you get to wherever you're going, then you notice that people are looking at you, and then you have to say, what is it that is wrong with my dressing? I eventually had to find out that there is actually something not covering enough, or something is showing, that it is expected. This is not, it won't be too much of your fault, I will say. It is just a wardrobe malfunctioning, which means at every point in time, every now and again, every woman will find themselves getting to the public area and finding out that actually my dressing today is not the best. This is not, oh, I didn't see this, I didn't see that. What I will advise is, if you're going out, have something like a scarf or something. There are winter scarves, there are summer scarves that you can hold in your hand, just in case you discover there is something that is, a little bit exposed that you're not happy with. Or maybe a dress is just above your knee or below the knee before you leave home, and then on getting to where you're going, you're sitting now, and then half of your thigh is showing. You can easily fold this scarf decently and place over your leg. So there is no harm in that. So please, our women out there, as a decent woman, as a woman of valor, we need to watch and keep an eye on our dressing. And I hope you will all take one or two advice from this information. At this junction, I'm going to appreciate all our viewers at home. I will first of all start by thanking my sister Olumide Ademeno Akintoye. Thank you for watching. Mr. Ayon the First, that's our own Mr. Ayon the First. Thank you for watching this program. Mr. Lanre Otunara One, thank you for watching. Mr. My sister Olawumi Awolesi, thank you so much, sister. God bless you. My darling secretary Monica Front, thank you for watching this program. God bless you. Tosi Biondo is watching as well. Thank you very much for joining us. Judith Asemo, Judith, thank you also for watching. God bless you. Prince Adedapo Araromi, thank you for joining us on this program. Mr. Adebayo Adeaga, thank you for watching. Fumilayo Olaide Olaniyan, that's my cousin all the way from Nigeria. Thank you for watching. She says, good to hear you, ma. This is a good one. God bless you. God bless you, sis. God bless you too. Mr. Adeaga said, I've seen a woman that tell her husband she will like to wear dress that will show her boob because one second, let me finish reading. Because he wants other men to see what her husband is showing. Hello, well, that's a funny one. Mr. Larry Otuara Adeaga is Mr. Otuara says at Adeaga, is this like, I think he wants to say, is this urge for a housewife or bad? It's orgy. Oh, okay, we come to that. Some women are like that. They want other men to fancy their indecency wares. Well, unless it's like kind of a joke, I don't think any woman will boldly and honestly say to their husband that, oh, I'm showing the boobs because I want other men to see what you are enjoying at home. Goodness. If you're a woman out there, a woman of valor, this shouldn't be your statement at all. Unless, like, husband and wife, you're making a joke. If your husband says, oh, you're wearing something that is a little bit exposing, and you're making the joke like, oh, so you don't want other people to see what you are enjoying. But really, really and truly, this is not a good statement. So, Mr. Adebayo Adeaga, if the lady is watching, you can advise the husband that told you to advise the lady that it is not something good to say to someone's husband. Mr. Otuara says, do you mean it's not good for orgy for a housewife or bad? Mr. Otuara, I've seen OGGD. Maybe you can resend that message as I scroll down before I get to it again, and I'll be able to pick up on that question. Ms. Tuara, do you mean it's not good for a housewife? Ms. Ariwa said, is that good for a housewife or tell her husband to wear dress that show her boobs? In any case, there is no man. Some housewives are used to indecent dressing. Imagine a lady will go to the market to buy clothes that will make her looks harlot, showing boobs, half-naked outfits, and after wearing, they will say, àwọn men máa gbà what? Tell them, okay. Now, your ladies, you're hearing the men are saying that they are really not enjoying it in that sense. Actually, it's a matter of fact, as we talked about earlier, you're making them feel uncomfortable. Some will get aroused, just looking at a lady that is halfway dressed like that. And it's really not good. It's not fair, to be honest, because they can only see at that stage, they cannot get there. So why are you trying to tempt them? Why you can see some decent men here are expressing themselves, saying they really do not appreciate it. And there's another comment that says, if the man allow a wife to dress half naked, the man is trading a wife with cheap things. Exactly. Because that means, if your husband says they want you to dress indecently like that, to follow them to public, you as a woman of valor, you must be restrained. I'm not saying you should be rebellious, but could you please ask your husband to explain to you why you should dress half naked? Why is that? Because if she wants you to be, I'm sure, excuse me, you can get some beautiful night wears and just let him know that your body is a temple of God. It's just for him as your husband. It's not for everybody or every Dick and Harry to come and be peeping and be, admiring. And I'm sure any decent man will appreciate you for being that intelligent to say, no, I cannot expose. You can make a joke about it, whatever they've placed their money on, and you don't want to sell it to other people. There are ways by which we can make, our discussion with our husband, our partner, to be very, very decent and to be very interesting. And then they will know. But I hardly will see any decent man that will say, I want you to wear this kind of half-naked clothing, and you follow them out. I have seen a situation where the man says, that is the way I love my wife to dress. But then even other men were condemning this man for this statement. Mr. Larry Otora said, well, depend on kind of relation between husband and wife. Yes, you are right, Otora. But do you call that a joke presenter? It's not joke. Oh, the lady told her husband like that. So it was, I think it would be a joke for a lady to say, I I want other men to see what you are enjoying. You know, it would be a joke. It cannot be. And no lady will say that on a very frank, you know, on a frank platform. Thank you all for your positive contribution. I'm sure all the ladies and men that are listening to us at home, they can all take one or two things from here and see that in essence what we are saying is try and be decent, be presentable. Don't dress indecently to, you know, just to attract men. That is not. You can attract men, but the kind of men you will attract will not be the kind of men that will make you a good husband. They will just be the one that will want to play with you. Just, you know, have a little play around what they can see because they want to see more. So, but if you want to keep yourself decent and attract decent men, please, ladies and women of valor, present yourself decently and dress decently. Right now, Sister Oduala as well has also just joined us. Thank you, Sister Susan Oduala, for watching. Right now, I'm going to go for a very short break, just for 2 minutes, and I will come back and we will be talking about decency in our approach and in our relations to, you know, in dealing with other people, our in-laws as well, our decency as to that aspect. Please don't go anywhere. I'll see you shortly after the break.
Ayato, Noble People's International Magazine, unveiling Noble TV and Noble Radio worldwide.
Èrò ẹ wá wo ohun tí bàbá ṣe láyé ọmọ rẹ̀. Noble People's International na yóò bí bàbá wọn. Ìròyà ẹ wá wo ohun tí bàbá ṣe láyé ọmọ rẹ̀. Noble People's International, I dey hello, sing it. Noble People's International, na you be baba. Noble Radio, Noble TV, I dey hello, Noble People's International, na you be baba. Noble Radio, Noble TV, I dey hello, When I think of the past, na you be baba. When I think of the present, you dey gidigba. When I think of the future, you said you were solid rock. Now you be papa, make we jolly. Noble family, buy your Adeaga, make you jolly.
Now wow,
Noble People's International, now you be baba. Noble Radio, Noble TV, I dey hello, Noble People's International, now you be baba. Noble Radio, Noble TV, I dey hello, Congratulations to you, MC Ike Diamond, Noble Police and MC Cole, I dey hello. Yetunde Majek Okeshola ńkọ́ ṣá máa gbádùn ní tiẹ̀. Ayaba Esther George Orékelẹ́wà tiwa. Mr. Ọ̀tún Àràbí ńkọ́ ṣá máa jó kọjọkọjọ. TKM Connection mo ń gbádùn ẹ jù. Báyọ̀ Adéyàgá MD and CEO Noble People's International. I dey hello Wale. Noble People's International. Now you be baba. Noble Radio, Noble TV, I dey hello, Noble People's International. Now you be baba. Noble Radio, Noble TV, I dey hello, Prophetess Divine, presenter, J-Boy Adeaga.
We are live on Facebook at Noble People International Magazine. We are live on YouTube, and also we are live on www.noblepeoplemedia.org. And you can watch us 24/7. Also, you can listen to us on Noble People Radio, and that is on the TuneIn apps. You need to download TuneIn apps on your phone, and you can enjoy unlimited beautiful music. You will not regret it. You will love it. Actually, in your car, you know, you can always, you know, listen to us the world is gone digital now. You don't have to really be in front of your television set before you can, watch any television program. Noble People TV is an online program, and you're welcome to join us at any time. We appreciate all of your support all the time. As we have started discussing from the beginning of this program on women of valor, we talked about decency and about our dressing. I still have another question here that I would quickly like to touch just before I move on to the next one. Mr. Larry Otora says, except the one that are ready to leave the house, we say that to our husband. Exactly. Not unless you're ready to leave your husband's house, you don't say what's like, well, I want other men to see what you're seeing in privacy. No, please don't say that. Women of valor, please don't say that. Some of this stays in our husband's head, and it doesn't go anywhere. And the time that they will use it, you will not like it, and they might use that against you. So please, like one elderly woman advised in a program one day, I remember during Ojumayo, when Mr. Diaga used to do Ojumayo at Nigeria FM, the woman advised that there are certain jokes that couples should not make. There are certain things you do not say. You don't joke on certain things that you know is going to be very expensive and that are sensitive, even though you're husband and wife. Some couples will say, myself and my husband, we talk about anything, we joke about anything. Yeah, but very, very rarely you will see that sometimes the other party will not go and think, he said this, he joked about that, she joked about that. Maybe she meant it, because if she hasn't been thinking about this before, she's not going to be talking about that. Women of valor, you don't joke about your husband's private parts or organ. There are certain, it's all part of decency anyway. That will lead me to the second topic anyway, which is decency in speech, countenance, and approach. The decency in our speech. What we're meant to be saying as a woman of valor, what we're not meant to be talking about. Some women or some ladies don't know. It's just like a no break, no jam affair. They don't know when to stop. They don't know where to, they just, once they open the gob, they just carry on. And irrespective of what is coming out of their mouth, not minding maybe the word that is proceeding out of their mouth can be bruising to other people's brain. They just want to talk anyway. We should think, before we say something. Some women are so intimidating. They just want to, cause you either to just get the worst out of you. Even friends do it to friends. And, like I was saying earlier, there are certain things that women of valor should not joke about. Know what you discuss with your friends, know what you talk about. I'm not saying and sit and say that women don't talk about their home. Of course, at one point in time, or every woman would have sit with a friend and talk about their husband or their fiancé or their partner or their family, their siblings. It is what women do, and I'm sure men does this as well. But there are certain things that are so intimate and private in every home, in every relationship. It does embarrass me when a woman is talking with me, and if it's for counseling session or purposes, and you really are having trouble to understand certain things, or you're looking for how you can cope with certain situation, it is okay. I don't mind you telling me anything, because then the reason why you're saying this is because you're looking for a kind of an advice on how you could overcome a certain situation. So you want to be open, you want to be as transparent as possible, but not when we are like 2-3 we're sitting, or we are talking and you want to talk about how your husband made love, how good your husband is in bed, or how bad your husband or your husband is in bed, or your husband doesn't give you money for this, or is a bad dresser. And what has been your steps? What have you done to rectify that which you think is not right in your home before you start to go out and be broadcasting it? It's not good, even if the man does not hear. Goodness, I mean, what I will advise is, whatever you know when the person, this has been my personal guidance as in talking, whatever I know I'm not going to be able to say in your presence, whether I am not in a good mood or I'm in a good mood, I will try not to say it behind you, because just in case I might have to say it in your presence. If it's going to put me to shame, then I will try and desist from saying such words. But I have been in a sitting that I've heard women talking about the sizes of their husbands, things, and things like that. It is not good. If you're a woman out there and you're a woman of valor, you're married to this man, whatever the situation is, whatever you found, it's what you have bargained for. No matter what it is, you work with it. If you're having some other matrimonial problems and issues, it can be resolved in other ways, in different ways of counseling. There are so many help out there, and that you can get. Rather than talking about, because the person you're telling can go and tell somebody else, and then you're just making the poor man, you're taking a mockery of him, really, and that is not decent. Some will be so bold and use it to abuse their husband, like what a filth they are, and if you happen to be in the midst where two couples that are on this kind of attitude are fighting, you will be surprised of things and words that will be coming out, mostly from the mouth of the woman, because men don't like to trade word, and this is why majority of women get themselves battered and beaten, because the man is not ready, hasn't got time for trading words, so he's just going to give you, a decent beating. I'm not saying that is the answer to a woman running their mouth. All I'm saying in essence is women should know what to say, when to say it. Be decent in whatever you do, whatever you say. Some people don't know what to say on social media. Sometimes when they're commenting on social media, they put nasty things, even if it is not true. They comment just to show off unreasonable things. They write stuff that is not right. It is not decent. It is just indecent. It's as simple as that. Whatever happens in your home, within you and your spouse, is what happens between you. The public does not need to know. There are times jokes has to have a limit. You don't joke on certain things. Some people, when they are gathering with their husband's friend, even they will joke to the extent that, their husband, he can't go for more than 3 minutes and it's all done. And these are expensive jokes to women. So as a woman of valor, please, let us be decent in whatever we say. With the words that proceed out of your mouth, how do you want the man to feel? Goodness, you have killed the morale, you've killed the libido, you've killed everything. Because the next time he's just going to be thinking, oh God, so this is what this woman think of me all this while. So please, whatever you're going to do to boost the morale of your husband, your partner, is what you should embark on, and not what demoralize them. I know sometimes ladies, we want to get back at men sometimes when they've done one thing or the other, or they've hurt our feelings. We want to go to any extent. We want to raise it all out. We want to get it all out in the open. While it is good to let your voice be heard, but mind what comes out of your mouth, because eventually, if the situation is solved or resolved and everything is settled, if you have to revisit all the words that you have said, maybe you've raised a cause in anger, and if this happens and it begins to work, then you will have to go on fasting and praying again, or whichever way you know how to, which can easily be eradicated by just not, saying all those words. So make your home, make your family as a woman of valor, a decent one with your speech. Don't call your husband names. Don't call your in-laws names. Don't give people names that are not, they're not Christian with. From the part of the country that I come from, it's usually so many bad names in courses that they can call their husbands, that even the children think this is the name for the father, because anytime they heard the mother referring to their dad, it's called Olori this or that and that, And sometimes as well, women, another aspect on your minding your speech and being decent with your countenance is your children or the people living with you does not need to know who is from, you know, who is supportive, who is the strong, who is the backbone of the family. It is two shall become one. This is always the, you know, situation. I know women, there are ways we can go, you know, wild and wanted to make sure men pay for things that they've done to, you know, maybe to hurt us in different ways. But all I'm saying in essence is today on your speech and countenance, be mindful, because words are seed. Once sowed, it can only grow and germinate. It doesn't go easily. And I will tell you, I have some words that has been said to me like when I was like 5 years old, and even sometimes when I discuss this with my big brother, like, well, it's a bit personal now. We have an auntie that was looking after us when we were younger. And some things that this auntie has said to us at that time, the way she's treated us, you know, when parents were studying and, you know, one thing or the other. You know, when I said to my mom, she would say, how did you remember all of this all that time? Most especially to our children. The things you said to children, they do not forget. And it will be in their head, honestly, forever. If I could remember something as far back as I was 5 years old, 4 years old, I could remember things, but things that was said to me specifically exactly how it was said, I remember from 5 years old very, very, very well. And that always cautioned me personally, if I could use myself as an example, in minding what I say to young children, okay? The adults you can iron out, forgive and forget. Nobody forgets anything, do not let us deceive ourselves. We don't forget, but we forgive and move on. That's what happened, because you will see that some things that you think you are forgiven, when something comes, it's like a wound, it's like a scar that is healed up. When you go back and peel it, of course, it's going to bleed again. So if same situation happens or somebody hurts you again, that is relating to this matter, you will find out that you will refer to it straight away. Women are very good in doing this. That is how you did the last time. So we go back as far as 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. We are women, we will do. But what I'm saying is, when you say things to your children, you say things to your husband, you say things to your contemporary, be positive as much as you can be. We are human and we can only be, and I know we have different temperaments. We can tolerate things better than the other. I'm not ruling that fact out, but let our word be seasoned at all time, and let us try our utmost best. Instead, let us find a way to talk to our husband, our spouse, our partners, our boyfriends, because you have to start from somewhere. We're not going to claim the holier than the thou that the day you meet a man is not the day they become your husband. There has to be a time of courtship where you are boyfriend and girlfriend. There will be a time where you are partners, like you are, or your fiancés, and you know, so on and so forth. So before you become husband and wife. So in all these stages, at all of the stages, you need to mind what you say. You don't want to sow a seed that eventually the man will look in the future and say, if you say something good, he will remember you said this, and look, we are enjoying the fruit of this. You prophesied this, you said this positively to us, now look, it's happening to us. But if you sow bad things equally, when it begins to happen, even if he doesn't want to spoil the environment, but he will be remembering, he said that it is when she was my fiancée, she said this, she caused me. And now look at what I'm reaping. I'm not saying this is an excuse or a yardstick for men to misbehave or treat their wife in a bad way, because women supposed to be treated as queen and princesses. And I believe this is, and the men that are watching me today, I believe you are going to make all the difference and support all the women or the ladies, you know, around you to be a better person, rather than trying and doing things that will bring out the bad in them. Under our speech and countenance, I will quickly touch something about lying. I don't believe in lying. I believe in saying the truth and let the devil be ashamed. Everyone has got experience of lies. You know, I will encourage us as a woman of valor to try as much as possible to be honest. You don't repay evil for evil. It is not decent to do that. You don't say because your husband did this, you're going to pay back with that indecent as well. And there are other programs that address men, as well as we have a program by Mr. Adeaga that talks about relationships on Yori Yori Love Talk Show. It's a good program that encourages couples, how to do things. So there you will find it going both men and women ways. But this is just a woman, because this program is specially made for women of valor, because we are the pillar of the house. We can make things work. We can, because I will let you, if you allow me to go into the Bible a bit, of one statement of a quotation that says, a wise woman buildeth her house, which means a woman can destroy and demolish the house as well as they can build the house. Let us be a home builder and not a home demolisher, no matter what the circumstances. Let us try and be sensible. And I will talk about countenance now. Countenance, I will say, is our facial expressions. There's always an adage that says, "Kari ni lokere kashe ayesi eni o yoni ju onjelo." That when you see people coming towards you and the enthusiastic way that you approach and you embrace and welcome them, it's more feeling than when you give them a dirty look or a bad welcoming, and then you're offering them the best meal in your house. That is not really, cultural, and is not moral. So let our facial expression, most especially to our in-laws or people that are husband friend, women, we often tend to believe that it is the husband's friend that is making our husband to behave, because they will say birds of the same feathers flock together. Yes, it could be true, and no, it cannot be true sometimes. Whatever problem you have in your home or in your relationship, it is not, don't attribute and pin it down on people surrounding your home. Don't take it to be your husband's family problem. Don't take it to be the problem of your husband's friend, and then you become very hostile to them. Be yourself. Let your countenance be good. In the right time, and believe strongly that you will be justified. So whatever situation you find yourself, or you think it is easier said than done, nothing we mention on this program is undoable. Of course, it is practicable, and you can do it as a woman of valor. Don't forget, as we describe a woman of valor, it is a great courage in the face of danger, especially in battle and challenges. If you have not been able to face and deal with situation in your home or in your marriage or over your children in a way that portrays that you are a woman of courage and that you don't give up and you can really stand as a woman, then you will not categorize yourself as a woman of valor, because that is just what it means. So please, I'm imploring you women out there, I believe you're all wonderful. And you have, God that made you a woman knows you have the shoulder to bear all the consequences to be a woman. Because I tell you what, the pains that a woman can bear, a man has got physical power, physical strength, but a woman has got both physical and emotional. There was a time I was making pounded yam, and I have a young man that is full of energy around me, and I said, okay, come and try. And then it was when I said, how do I say this? And it was such a battle. This is only for 1 or 2 people. And I said, you know what? I said, I have, even when I was a lot younger, I have done a whole big pot in a party, the big one that they use in Nigeria when they're making, party. I was able to, just single-handedly been able to do that by myself. I said, what? This is where all women energy go. So you are a strong woman. So don't let anybody think less of you. Don't think less of yourself. You are strong, you are bold, you are brave. You just need to exercise and apply this. And I pray that strength from above be yours by God's grace. I would like to also appreciate few people that have joined us on this program. Mrs. Abiola Olatilewa Oje, thank you so much. for watching this program. My dear sister and mommy, Mrs. Bukola Murakinyo, thank you for watching. Mr. Adekombi Isaac, thank you for joining us. Mr. Olatempo Alashipe, thank you very much. Thank you for your support all the time. My sister Dopsy Dami, you're watching with us as well. Thank you. My very own sister Ayaba Esther George, one and only Ayonfe Olori of Noble People Media. Thank you for watching. He said, well done, Auntie. Thank you to Mr. Funsho Obayagban is watching all the way from Osun State. Thank you. And then he says, another wonderful presentation, quite enlightening and informative. And kudos. Thank you to Mr. Obayagban. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Miss Ayabaesta George says, words for the wise. Exactly. It is for all of us to, amend our ways and have a better home. Mrs. Olutayo says, nice program. Thank you, sister. Thank you for watching. Mr. Olatempo says, please tell them, we have said a lot, Mr. Olatempo. So, I don't know which part of it, but I'm sure he said, honestly, indecency has really affected our Christian home community and society negatively, all in the name of fashion. The kids are watching, and what they see is what they emulate. Exactly. What they see is what they emulate, and we don't want to be a bad model for the generations to come. Mr. Adebayo Ife is watching. Thank you. Mrs. Olutayo say, please kindly tell us, do you think it is good to have joint account with our husband? That will be our topic for next week. Yeah, we will give us the opportunity to probably call in as well. I will note that down, Ms. Olutayo, so that I can finish the rest of the information that I have today on decency. Mr. Yabaisa says, oh, Mr. Dotun Ogunleye, thank you. He says, good talk. Thank you. Please kindly tell us if we can have, with our husband. We will treat that next week by the grace of God. Please share, Mr. Yabaisa. Please share to educate. Interesting topic. God bless us. God bless you, Sister Dopsitamin. Thank you all very, very much. I'm going to go for another short break, 2 minutes, and I will come back, and then we will have the last topic, and then we will call it for the day. Thank you very much.
Hello, Yetunde Majek Okeshola ńkọ́ ṣá máa gbádùn ní tiẹ̀. Ayaba Esther George òrékelẹ̀ wà tiwa. Mr. Ọ̀tún Àràbí ńkọ́ ṣá máa jó kọjọ́kọjọ́. TKM Connection mo ń gbádùn ẹ jù. Ayọ̀ Adéyàgá MD and CEO Noble People's International. Hello, Noble People's International. Now you be Baba, Noble Radio, Noble TV. Hello, Noble People's International. Now you be Baba, Noble Radio, Noble TV. Hello, Prophetess Divine, presenter, J-Boy Adéyàgá, òkú iṣẹ́ ọpọlọ. Kiki Nana Mingo, Adéyàgá, ìwọ ni head of department ní ìlú Naija. Reverend David Miyunko MC Kibet mo ń gbádùn ẹ jù. Ìwọ ni pìrìsẹ́ńtà tó kọjú owó. Gbogbo ọmọ Naija pátápátá ti bẹ nílùú London. Ẹ kú iṣẹ́ ọpọlọ. Ẹ ṣé. Noble People's International. Now you be Baba, Noble Radio, Noble TV. Hello, Noble People's International. Now you be Baba, Noble Radio, Noble TV. Hello, online radio tó kójú lówó, Noble People's ní kẹ́ máa lọ. Online TV tó dángájíá.
Jẹ́ kí n máa jẹ́ àsun yín lọ. Ẹ̀wọ̀n yẹn máa gbọ́n ibi ata fóun nìkan kóun máa jẹ ibi ata kí n máa jẹ àsun. Páàkì méjì tó lọ ra yìí tó bá ti ra bíi mẹ́rin wá lọ ra méjì ṣáàjà táwọ̀ bíà fẹ́ bá mi jẹ nínú ẹ̀ tó yẹ kó fílẹ̀ kí n máa dájẹ́ nǹkan mi ibi aláta yẹn náà ni kí n máa fún ẹ̀ ń jẹ́ yé tèmi jàre ṣáàjẹ́ máa jẹ́ lọ àlùbọ́sà àtàtà ló máa jẹ lénìí máa ṣú ẹ̀ ń pẹ́pẹ́ àsùn yìí dùn ọ̀tá ojú ẹ̀ next time kò ra bíi mẹ́rin wá ra méjì.
Come back to the last session of our program today, Women of Valor. My sister here, Dopsy Dami, say, can you please discuss how women should show her expression to her husband when she's not happy, apart from discussing the matter with him? How a woman should show her expression to her husband when she's not happy, apart from discussing the matter with him. Well, I think I might just guess where what you're trying to say. Apart from discussing with him, I will tell you the best weapon that is very useful in relationship or marriage is communication. If any relationship has not got a good communication, it cannot work. Then that's when you will see that husband is doing his own thing and the wife is doing her own thing. And we'll quote again, the Bible says, can two work together except they agree? So there has to be some sort of level of communication, and I will tell you the best way to still discuss if you're not happy with your husband is to tell him, call him, but don't say it in anger, don't say it in annoyance. Find a time that the man is at peace, that is happy, and you will know your husband better, because men are all different. Some will turn a very calm discussion to a big argument, and instantly, because to be very defensive against whatever they have done. But you're not happy, like you have said. If one is not happy, and not until a woman is completely satisfied, we are very easy, we can easily be, we are easy forgiven, we are very passionate about a good home and all that. But if we get apology only by mouth and action is not following, then we think the apology is not acceptable, it's not decent, it's a lie, it's all fake. And this is why women will want to use other method. But you should not use intimacy, should I say sexual intimacy, to punish your husband or to make him to inquire, what have I done? Why you were, a man of God was telling us one day that even his wife, because he was supporting some sisters in the church, that the wife had to wear like 3 trousers to bed, just to say, by the time you take off the first one or the second one, then you will understand, the message I'm trying to pass on. We can't use things like this to express our unhappiness in our home. We cannot use food to punish our husband as expression of our anger. Some will not cook and say, do you want me to cook for you? Where did you eat yesterday? Go back there and eat. There are certain attitude that is not, accepted, but we can touch more on this. I can join this with the discussion for next week, and you will all be allowed to join in. But sister, if I could answer your question very briefly, please. The best way to discuss any problem in any marriage or relationship is by discussing, because there are other things that might come to light. There might be reasons why the man has acted, even your suspicions might, or whatever it is, might be all lies. It might not, but if you don't talk, if you don't give him the opportunity to explain himself, you will just be grudgy for nothing. And most of the time, ladies, we might be wrong, and we're just, kind of following our own instinct, thinking that we're right. So please, sister, and other women that are listening to me, don't let us use other ways. The best way to still solve a problem in a home is by sitting together and discussing and ironing things out. And trust me, the love that you have for each other from the beginning will always prevail and overcome such situations. My sister Olawumi Awolese said, we should all appreciate and nourish and cherish each other. Let's see each other as a gift from God. Bravo says, that is fantastic. That is true. Men should appreciate their wives, so also women should appreciate their husband. And I want to thank Mr. Jude Olukayode Awode for joining us on this program. Oloyede Jr., that is my brother son all the way from Nigeria. Thank you. And Mr. Badega says, some women are not good in constructing words. They are aggressive and volatile in action. women got a lot to keep the family going. Yes, we have we've got a lot to keep the family going. We appreciate that, but that is not left. It's like I said earlier, can two work together except they agree? It's not only women that has a part to play to make a good home. The men has a lot to do. All we are saying is women are easily led. We are easily led, and we will do as it is right. But any little thing, because we are very sensitive being, God made us to be very sensitive. So any little thing that you do, and some women have got tolerance than the other. Some can be aggressive and volatile, as you have rightly said, and some can deal with situation in a more calmer way. Either way, it will depend. We don't know the reason. We don't know the causes, of what will make a woman to be. There are several reasons we can, imagine or think about, but I believe everybody has got parts to play. We don't kind of tune women and just leave them to start grumbling and aching in pain and agony. If we want to keep a good home, we know men also should know how to keep, love, respect their wife and honor them in certain way. Like my sister said, that we should respect and cherish each other, appreciate each other. As women should appreciate men, men should also appreciate their wife, that they're good gifts from God. Because I don't want to touch this next week, I have 2 minutes just to quickly talk about respecting other people's space. As a woman of valor, you need to value your relationship and value other people's relationship. Respect your friends and other people's relationship. Don't fascinate yourself with your friend's partner or husband. There are some women, they don't know when to stop, or what is their limit when it comes to their relationship between themselves and their friend's husband. You will see some women that husband and wife will be in the bedroom and the friend will go up and join them sitting on the same bed. For God's sake, that is not decent at all. I know there are women that does it. It's not like a story or a hoax. Women does it no matter how close. Yes, your friend can invite you to her bedroom. If the husband is not there, women, you can tell maybe she wanted to show you something. I'm not saying completely depending on your relationship, but when the man is there, it doesn't matter whether all of you started from you were like child, you had your childhood together. You should still respect the fact that that is their matrimonial home, that is their matrimonial bed. When you are all there together, don't be too nosy. Some women some ladies go to the extent that they will be demoralizing their friend in the presence of their husband. Like, maybe the husband doesn't like something and your friend is doing that, and then you decide to bring that discussion so that the husband, what exactly do you want to gain? So that the husband can hate the wife the more, or so that, your friend is not a good cook, for example, and now the discussion you want to talk about, and because your friend has confided in you or said something like her husband has complained about her cooking, and then you think the subject you should talk about when the three of you are together is to talk about cooking, good cooking, and how best you are. Do you really want to take your friend's husband? What do you really want to gain? What do you want to achieve from discussion like this? So please respect other people's space. Respect their relationship, respect their marriage. Don't have any secret affairs with people around you, people that trusted you, people that think you are decent to them and they can relate to you in certain ways. Don't invade their privacy. Don't betray their trust that they have in you. I don't know if part-time will permit me. There was an incident that everybody in the community. This woman will come into their bedroom, sits on the other bed. They will discuss. They took her as a sister. But you know what happened? To the extent that when the mother in the house, the real wife, when she's not at home or she's gone to work, this lady will come to the house as well because the man is retired. We come to the house. she will meet them. It was nothing to her because all of them used to be there. But you know what? In the long run, this woman had a child for the man because people in the area were seeing that, you know, they were seeing that this woman is coming and was becoming very frequent. Don't betray people that trusted you.
Mr. Ọ̀tún Arabi ń bọ̀, ṣá máa jó kọjọkọjọ. TKM Connection, mo ń gbádùn ẹ jù. Báyọ̀ Adéyàgá, MD and CEO, Noble People's International. I dey hello, it's Wale. Noble People's International, na you be baba. Noble Radio, Noble TV. I dey hello, Noble People's International. Na you be baba. Noble Radio, Noble TV. I dey hello.
And when you get there, they will, if anyone asks you, you take this stone to the market, and if anyone asks you, just point 2 fingers up. And then the boy took the stone to the market and pointed 2 fingers up to the first woman that asked for the price of the stone. And the woman said, I'll give you $2. And the boy ran home and tell the father, the woman wanted my stone for $2 to beautify her garden. And the man said, okay, take the same stone to the museum. And then the boy ran to the museum and said, I've got this stone, are you interested? And the man, the attendant there says, oh, I will take this stone for $200, because the boy just stretched up like 2 fingers as the father advised. And the boy ran home to say, Father, the man at the museum said he wants my stone for $200. And the man said, okay, take the same stone to the jeweler's shop. And when they ask you how much is your stone, just raise 2 fingers. And the boy ran to the jeweler's shop and, you know, asked the man, are you interested to buy my stone? And the man said, where did you get this from? How much do you want for it? And the boy raised 2 fingers up, and the man said, $200,000. If you give me this stone, I will give you $200,000. And the boy ran back home and said, Father, the same stone that was priced for $2, that was priced for $200, the man at the jeweler shop wanted $200,000 to pay and have this stone. All in essence is, then the father said, value of life is how you place yourself. If you have placed the stone in the garden, you can only worth $2. If you place it at the museum, as you went, you will get $200 for it. But then if you place it in the diamond shop, then you get $200,000 for it, because then you can be appreciated as a diamond. So in essence, I leave you with a thought. Place yourself and surround yourself with people that will carry you up, people that would appreciate you and value you as a diamond that you really are, as a woman of valor. Until I come your way next week, stay blessed and love you all. Thank you all for joining in, and thank you for watching Noble People International Magazine and Noble People TV and Noble People Radio. I'll see you next week. My name is
John, ọ̀rẹ́ mi kan sọ kan fún mi sìn acoustic special. Wọ́n ní Woolwich lọ́wọ́ acoustic ni o. Ẹ má lọ sí acoustic ni mo rán ẹ.
Okay. Woolwich gan lèmi gan wà báyìí gan sìn. Woolwich, Adé Woolwich now. Yeah.
Baba, when I think of the bread.